question, like, I don't believe it. I think
Why?
it's all financial stability. I don't think that after you like the dude who cool, homeboy just, he's super, like, no hate. I bought his shoes the other day with a Sugar Daddy Slim outfit. But I'm just saying, like, I have no personal issue with him, like, or her. You know, I mean, God bless him. But I don't believe that a girl who...
What time again?
He just a corny dude. Like, ain't nothing wrong with it. He just so, like...
Because he ain't sold no drugs?
Nah, it ain't even that. It's just his whole movement. I ain't gonna say corny, because that's hate. He's just like a square. Like, I bought this man's shoes the other day, so I have no personal issue with him. Like, he cool. But he's straight-laced, clean-cut guy, never done nothing wrong, follow the rules. I don't believe that a girl who come from a street dude can even adapt to. So you don't... So you saying she a gold digger? I ain't gonna say she a gold digger because she got her own. But at the end of the day, I don't believe it's real. I don't believe it. And I think how y'all keep highlighting this, I think it's gonna blow up on y'all. Everybody been... And it's so you saying she a gold digger? I ain't gonna say she a gold digger because she got her own. But at the end of the day, I don't believe it's real. I don't believe it. And I think how y'all keep highlighting this, I think it's gonna blow up on y'all.
After watching that and hearing the many videos done about Ciara and Russell Wilson, I mean, I've been covering Ciara and Russell Wilson for a while, and for some reason this couple keeps coming up. They keep coming up more than Beyonce and Jay-Z. And it's because of the dynamic of their relationship. Slim Thug, his name is Slim Thug, says that Ciara dealt with street dudes, and Russell Williams is square. He's corny, he's lame. I mean, first of all, has he ever sat down with him and had a conversation? Has he hung out with him? How does he actually know? So my guess is, if you are financially stable, you are not out there hitting every piece of vagina that you can find, if you are not engaging in degenerate behavior, if you don't have all this jewelry on, if you're not flossing, if you're not, you know, doing the typical Negro antics, that you are corny, square, and straight-laced. Because to me, a man who's financially stable, a man who is not having babies all over the world, someone with Russell Wilson's character, that is a real man to me. And because thug antics and that culture, which these people are not thugs, they are actors, they are singers, they are rappers, they are not true thugs. A real thug is somebody like Donald Trump. A real thug is somebody like Jeff Sessions. That's a thug. Vladimir Putin, that's a thug. He said he doesn't think that their relationship is real. I'm trying to think about the men that Ciara dated. First, I remember her relationship with Bow Wow. Bow Wow is not a thug. He never had that thug image. His music was kind of hip hop, kind of pop. You know, it was for the kids because he was a child rapper. And he really didn't go into that hood like rapping style, because I believe that Will Smith was trying to keep him on that, you know, kid friendly, straight laced, you know, path, because Will Smith stayed on that path and he's super successful, super rich, and he was trying to mentor and help Bow Wow in that way. But I guess Bow Wow wanted to fall into the hood rap, you know, thug image, but he really couldn't make that transition. There was speculation that Ciara allegedly dated 50 Cent. 50 Cent is not hood. He's just Dusty. And Future is not hood. There's nothing hood or street about. These are personas that 50 Cent and Future are putting out there, presenting to the public. That's their image to sell their records, because that's what they do. That's the business that they're in. Future is just another dude that engages in dusty behavior by having multiple children by multiple women and having to pay out multiple child support checks. And she dated those guys, but you know, people are acting like 50 Cent and Future put their dusty foot forward. Future could have said that, you know, he was young and dumb when he was having these babies and he wanted to have a real family. They were engaged. People don't even mention that Ciara and Future were engaged. So she had a baby with her fiance. Granted, she should have waited until they were married, but when I first saw that she was with Future, I was like, oh no. I was one of those who were like, oh no, why are you with this dusty dude? Why are you pulling him up from obscurity into mainstream fame? Why are you with him? I didn't understand it, seeing how, you know, I believe, you know, Ciara was the caliber of woman who could do better than that, knowing how many children he has. So that shows his dusty behavior. I didn't think it was good that she was literally going to take on being stepmom to all of his children. You know, those who try and talk about, oh, you know, men shouldn't be with women. Russell Wilson is prime example. Russell Wilson shouldn't have taken on Ciara and her one child with Future, but it was okay for Ciara to take on Future and his basketball team. Slim Thug is concerned about the image of Russell Wilson and Ciara being put out there. He's worried about women catching a clue and not allowing dusty dudes who engage in dusty behavior access to their vagina and their womb. This could catch on like wildfire. I've been hoping that it catches on like wildfire, where Black women are more selective on every economic spectrum of who they are engaging in sexual behavior with, who they are procreating with, who they allow to put life into their womb. And I think that these men who see themselves as thugs, that sees themselves as street dudes, they feel like they have lots of swagger and they engage in this dusty behavior. They are afraid that they won't have access to those wombs and that vagina. So they have literally been tearing down Ciara because she had a baby by Future. And I definitely think that you should wait for marriage. I definitely think you should protect your womb and your vagina. And what I get from this is Ciara was supposed to hold Future down regardless of his cheating or any abuse or anything. I'm not saying that he abused her, but whatever he was dishing out, she was supposed to hold him down until he got tired of her and left her. I believe that's what it is. That's what's been normal. Is, you know, you have the woman who's the ride or die chick and she holds him down through having all her teeth knocked out, you know, having her eyes blacked, through multiple baby mamas, cheating on her while she's pregnant, you know, just being shitted on constantly. Now they are afraid that these women will get some self-esteem and they will not have access to these women who don't think so highly of themselves and don't value themselves in that way, getting some self-esteem where they can't take advantage of these women anymore. And he was saying that it's not real because he doesn't want it to be real. He doesn't want it to catch on because that's going to hurt him in his, pursuit of women who don't value themselves as they should. They're calling Russell Wilson a simp, corny, lame, and square, when actually he's a good-looking man, and he, as far as what I can see, is a good man. And one thing that they don't talk about is his good white woman, his ex-wife. She cheated with men on the same team as him. Like, she was going through the team. She was letting them break her down in all different kinds of ways, but nobody puts emphasis on that. People are saying, Ciara leveled up. She did. She got away from a cheater. She got away from someone who would teach her son all of the wrong things, and she leveled up with someone who had some morals and principle about themselves. He leveled up by leaving a pass around and leveled up with Ciara, who has some classiness and some standards about herself. Because for you to be, it's one thing for you to sneak off and cheat. It's a whole nother thing to be bold enough to cheat with teammates on your husband's team. That was beyond me when I heard that. But I'm like, hey, they love the white women, so hey, they like it, I love it. And furthermore, they're calling Russell Wilson's wife. They are calling another man's wife a hoe, a slut, a thought, a gold digger. This woman has her own money. She had her own career. She has her own success. And like I said, because she had a child with Future, she was supposed to be thrown down and she was supposed to stay down. That's where she was supposed to be. She wasn't supposed to get any type of self-esteem. She was supposed to either stay with Future and take his BS, or she was supposed to go with another street dude, get pregnant by him, and then get clowned. She was supposed to perpetuate this cycle, because these men, whether they are lames that are crying or whether they are dusty street dudes that are crying, they want the same thing. They want these women's self-esteem low. They want them to think very little of themselves in their womb, because they want easy access to vagina, period. And they want this degenerate cycle to continue because it gives them easy access to vagina. And Russell Wilson was supposed to diss it. He was supposed to turn his back. He was supposed to have nothing to do with her. He wasn't supposed to be stepdad to someone else's child. He was supposed to give a little boy the middle finger, and he wasn't supposed to be a mentor in this boy's life. He wasn't supposed to care about the children at all. This is a game. Like I said, the whole interracial dating thing, the whole Ciara and Russell Wilson, the whole baby mama, slanderous label, all of this is a part of the same game, is to keep this tight grip on women, especially black women, and I'm talking about our community, to keep them in a position where they can be easy access for these men, easy vagina for them to get, Because you think, why do you keep piling on and why do you keep talking crap? If Russell Wilson wanted to marry a woman who had a child, you know, he vetted her. She seems to be a good woman, good wife. They're always smiling. They're always happy. They make each other happy. They leveled each other up. Everything is working beautifully. Why would you be mad at that? What is it? And Ciara is a black woman. You look at her, she is undeniably black. And for whatever reason, there is a disgusting hatred and disdain for black women. They don't want you to do better. They don't want you to be seen in a good light. I mean, what can they really say besides that she had a baby by Future? What else can they say about her? And they need to understand that they need to hold that L. Ciara won. She won. She holds the W. She's the winner. She's in first place. She did not perpetuate the dusty behavior. She did not get pregnant by another dusty dude. And she literally gave what these men have been asking for, is to pick better and do better. So which one is it? Because that would seem confusing. It's like, okay, you want women to do better and not to be with these dudes and to cut them off, right? And then a woman, she decides, you know what, I was with this dude, I need to change course, I need to do better. She does what you ask. Then you talk shit about her. If she had went with another street dude and got pregnant by him, you still would have been talking shit about her. So that shows me I'ma just charge it to the game. The game is as much vagina, as much low self-esteem vagina as they can get. That's where they want to keep women, so they can get it. And as far as these dusty lame dudes still harboring these feelings that the sexy chick that was with the bad boy when they were young, and because they were passed over or looked over, you know, gave sex to the less deserving bad boy. So the so-called straight-laced dudes are mad that they didn't get the sex with the sexy chick because they had good grades, they had a certain mindset, they had goals, they mapped out their life, they took their education seriously, whatever you want to call a straight-laced, you know, guy, those qualities. And that guy felt like, because, okay, I decided to pursue this and have these qualities, I am deserving of sex with the sexy chick. I am deserving of that. These bad boys are not deserving of that. It all goes back to sex and as much accessible vagina that they can get. And they're mad at the bad boy because he got access to sex with the sexy chick and they didn't, because they felt like they deserved it. On their qualifications, they deserved it. Because I gotta call BS when I see it. This is not about picking better. It is strictly about who gets to stick their penis in as much vagina as possible. They are bitter, they were not the pick, and they feel they deserved it. These males are not mad over a woman or women turning down an engagement ring that they presented her. It's all about sexual intercourse. And that is perverse in its nature because, I mean, ladies, you really need to listen to what's really being said. It's not keep your legs closed for the right man, a good man, a stable man, a man who's going to care about you, the children that he gives you. It has nothing to do with that. It's a fight about who they want you to have your legs open 24/7 for. They said they don't want your legs open for the bad boys and the thugs. They've been getting too much vagina. They said, I want your legs wide open for the squares and the nerds and the lame, because we deserve to get some endless vagina too. That is so sick to me. That is so sick to me, because that's how it's coming across to me. This is not about what Ciara did, Ciara having a baby. This is not about that. This is strictly about sexual access and these men being sexually frustrated because they feel like a certain type of dude, a bad boy or a thug type, is getting access more than they are, and they should be getting that access because they quote unquote can potentially present more, even though they are not presenting rings and marriages and family and stability. They are just offering square, lame, educated penis instead of swag and penis. That's basically what they're offering you. They're offering you penis, and they're telling you it's time to get off the bad boy train, the thug train, and allow these square, lame dudes get some vagina too. Because what they're trying to equate is someone who's being lame and square as a good man. That's not a good man. You can still be college educated. You can still have a bright future, you know, as far as financial stability. And you can have all that going for you, and you can still engage in dusty behavior. No matter what class you are in, you can still engage in dusty behavior. But the problem is, you know, the lack of being a good man. When Ciara put that out there about a cool man or a good man encompasses everything that you should look for. These squares, nerds, and lames are trying to act like they are offering more than the street dude when all they're offering is educated dick. And they're saying they won't bring the swag and dick. So I'll go ahead and leave it right here. Let me know what you think about this whole Ciara and Russell Wilson situation. I'm sure I'll be doing another video after this because it's going to be non-stop. For whatever reason, people do not want to see a healthy black family. They don't want to see it at all. But go ahead, drop that comment, and I'll see you in the next one.